and I'm really having to push myself on despite my legs being in absolute bits. That wind really is picking up and it's starting to nip quite badly at my fingers. And that leaves me in double figures for Wainwrights to go, 99 left. That mist is rolling in super quick. I've made a grave mistake this week, a bad one.
Oh, listen to that wind, man.
Wow, that was a fight getting that tent down, let me tell you. Hello YouTube, I hope everyone is fitting well and life's treating you good. Running a bit late today, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I've parked up at Patterdale, and I'm going to be tackling the route that I couldn't get to when I did Armboth Fell. The fells behind me are lit up. We've got the burnt copper of the Bracken and the tail end of Ullswater just in view. We've had a lot of rain this week here in Cumbria. At work it was that wet I was underwater wood welding. As you can see with the path that I'm on, it is still wet. And we're heading up yonder. You can just see how low that sun is in the sky. So I am going to be chasing my tail a little bit, and fingers crossed today I do get a pitch for the tent. Right, no time for messing about, time to crack on. It's a steep start to this one and I'm starting to sweat already. As I'm increasing elevation, the wind is picking up, so I'm going to keep the fleece on. But the Cumbrian Lad cap might have to come off for now at least. I will leave a link to my merch store in the description, so if you want a cap or a t-shirt, go and check that out. There's some pretty cool stuff on there, even if I do say so myself, and it's a great way to support me. I don't make a great lot of money off it, but what little I do get will go 100% back into the channel, and you guys get to get some cool stuff as well. Ullswater is a lot more in view now. You can see how much we've ascended in just a short space of time. Following that steep wall there, and the path takes us this way, and I believe that is the first summit of the day, so I better get a shifty on. We've got a cracking view of Ullswater now. Got Glenriddin Dodd just looking down over the lake. You can see a little waterfall there, and that summit clouded in mist is where I was camping with Small Feet Pete just a couple of weeks back. Right behind me, Arneson Crag, which I've already tagged with Adam in the Wild, which was a wild night. That was the night his nature hike Opolis got absolutely flattened in 60+ mile-an-hour winds. And it's at this point where I've had to take a break. It's nice and flat. I've made a grave mistake this week, a bad one. As you all know, I lost a lot of weight over the summer and I've now gone into a bulking phase, so I've changed my training from body weight fitness training to training as heavy as I can to try and put on a bit of muscle over the winter. So I'm doing a push training on Monday, pull training on a Wednesday, and you guessed it, legs on a Friday, which was yesterday. My legs are shot already. I hate training legs. My legs are in absolute bits, and I'm only 20 minutes into this hike and I've got to push on as well. Oh dear me. Never mind. That sun really is starting to dip low in the sky now, and I'm really having to push myself on despite my legs being in absolute bits. Just about to disappear behind that peak there. It is lighting up the surrounding mountain ranges absolutely beautifully. You can see the path that I've followed, and we're now starting the ascent proper to the first summit of the day. Looking down on Arneson Crag now. Look how steep this section is that I'm on. My word, that really has got some already tired legs, even more tired, and it's eaten into my time quite badly. But just over this hump here is the summit that's going to be number one for today. I can just and so see Angletarn. There's Angletarn Pikes. Swinging round towards Ullswater. And if you guys live in the northeastern Cumbria, you may or may not have seen me on the local evening news. I did an article with the BBC on the responsibilities of safe wild camping and making sure that you're fully prepared and able to get yourself down so you don't waste the mountain rescue's time if it's unnecessary. That was on Angletarn Pikes, and although I've camped Angletarn before with Chris from the Height of Life, I didn't actually tag the Pike Summit. So officially last week that was Wainwright number 113, and I can finally say Burke's. Done and boshed it, mate. Another one off the list, Wainwright number 114. So I've got 100 left to go. Just looking onwards to the next summit of today with the sun just and so still in view through the mist. Lovely 360 views here. Cracking view down over Ullswater. And the local vicinity on the summit here is absolutely perfect. Should I need to drop back down here and camp the night. I'm just about to start the ascent proper to summit number 2. That wind really is picking up and it's starting to nip quite badly at my fingers. Summit lit up by the setting sun, and you can see I've got a bit of a climb in front of me. The path from Burke's is right there, and my path back down in the morning forks left here. So that's a quicker descent. And right where I'm stood looks reasonably flat. Here also, there's a lovely little flat spot just there, and a couple of little mounds here. So they are also options for pitching the tent for tonight. But fingers crossed that I can get pitched on the top of summit number 2. The final climb of the day is just starting to ease off. It's been quite steep and boggy, so I've been having to really be careful where I've been putting my feet. We're up a good height now. The summit is just in front of me. We're almost up in that clag layer. You can see it rolling past on the nearby fells. Angletarn clearly in view now. Looking down on Burke's and Ullswater. Look at the colours in them clouds. And them clouds are moving quickly. Right, let's get summit number 2 done and see if we can find a pitch for the night. Here we go, summit number 2 of the day. 115 Wainwrights in total. St Sunday's Crag. Done and boshed it, mate. Another one off the list. And that leaves me in double figures for Wainwrights to go. 99 left. Right in front of me, that mist is rolling in super quick. It's going to envelop me really quickly. We've still got some lovely colours in the sky. I can still see Angletarn, and my fingers are like crab sticks once again. Really cold wind up here today. And as you've seen, that sun is more or less down, so it's time for me to find a pitch for the night. I've really pushed the boundaries with my time on this camp. I had a really good look around on St Sunday Crag for a pitch, but I was struggling to find somewhere suitable. It's very rocky up there. Descended the path to where it splits in the morning if I was following the route properly. And something in the back of my head said that there was a better pitch that I saw on the way up. And indeed there was. So even though it's going to cost me more miles and more time, I've returned to the first summit of the day, Burke's. Sun is down now behind St Sunday Crag. Thick mist and cloud behind me. The wind is starting to whistle. But I've got a cracking view over Ullswater in the QEU, which I've literally thrown up as quick as possible because my hands are freezing. My rucksack's still there, I haven't even got anything packed up inside. So I'm just going to hoy everything in, get it all set up, and then I'll bring you back. Oh, that is better. So good to get inside the tent out of that wind. As you can hear, that wind is rattling around the tent, but the QEU is standing strong. No surprises, it's full winter setup. So I've got me Nemo Tensor Extreme Long Wide sleeping mat, my OEX Leviathan EV900 sleeping bag, and the trusty Sea to Summit Aeros premium pillow. Down boots, down pants, down jackets on, and all that combined with a lovely flat pitch and inside a QEU Stormstar should give me a good night's sleep. Even with the inner door open, there's not a breath of wind getting in. And it was definitely worth pushing myself time-wise to get back here, but unfortunately that means I didn't have time during daylight to get the drone up. But never mind. So I'm just going to give myself a couple of minutes just to get warmed up, laid on the sleeping bag and sleeping mat, get my hands warm. And then I am most definitely ready, as per usual, for something to eat. Got myself warmed up, and that's the jet ball just bubbling away. Another 5 minutes and my food will be ready. It's 10 to 6 and it was pitch dark by 5 o'clock. It's definitely getting to that time of year where we're spending some long solitary hours inside the tent. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you time to do some soul searching and a bit of thinking. So it's all good. Failing that, download a few Netflix films and you'll be right. And if it wasn't for that wind, I would be sitting with the door open enjoying the nighttime view down over Ullswater, but with that wind rattling the way that it is, I ain't opening that door. Not for nobody. Right, food time. For tea tonight we've got Merchant Gourmet poi lentil bolognese with mushrooms and sun-dried tomatoes. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of mushrooms. In fact, I hate them. But in things like this, they tend to be really small, so I can get away with that. High in protein, high in fibre, 1 of my 5 a day. And I even had to fight Tactical Duck off for it. Look, he's got a black eye. Give him a left hook. If you know, you know. As always, at this time of year, these are great for warming your hands up on. Now, I will say on this one, the pack doesn't seem as full as most of the others that I've had. But very tasty. If a bit watery. I can't remember whether I've had this one before. Although it's tasty, due to it not having as much in as the others, it could definitely do with being poured into one of the Mylar bags and something like some steak strips added or some pork or something like that. And that wind's getting very consistent at the minute. At a guess, I'm going to say 30, 35 mile an hour, but constant. Right, I'm going to finish my food. There's not going to be a lot more for me to get up to tonight. And try and see if I've got some mobile signal, sort a few things out on the phone. But I'll definitely bring you back one more time before I get my head down for the night. It's almost 7 o'clock now. Surprisingly cool inside the tent. I can see my breath. And there's no sign of that wind backing off. Very little to no phone service. I've had just enough signal to receive and send a few messages, but that's about it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my head down early and try and get a good night's sleep. Just before I do that, I want to show you one thing inside the tent. On the ceiling of the tent, you'll notice that there is the Ram's Head logo for QEU. And if I turn out the light, look at that. That is cool. Nice little touch QEU. I love that. Enjoy the photos that I've got for you overnight. And as always, we'll see you bright and breezy in the morning.
Good morning everyone. 4:10 in the morning, and because I got my head down early, I've actually slept really quite well. The wind's been constant all night and it did wake me up a couple of 3 times, but I've been able to roll over and just get my head back down to sleep. So I'm feeling quite refreshed this morning. Kettle's on, so I'm going to get coffee and breakfast ready. Oh yes. Whew. Still on the cheap coffee. I forgot to buy some proper stuff, but once again it's doing the job. Oh, listen to that wind, man. The back of the tent that I pitched into the wind is moving ever so slightly further in this morning, so it's been pressing against the inner, so where the condensation's been, I've got a bit of a wet patch. But I don't think it's slippage in the guy lines. I think I've got all that sorted. The ground last night when I was putting the pegs in was really soft, so I think the pegs have pulled in a little bit. But I'm definitely not looking forward to packing up and walking down with this wind. We have had a few light showers, but hopefully they'll hold off. Alpen, 2 scoops of protein and a scoop of creatine in there. Looks awful, tastes great. Right, I'll finish my brekkie, and then I'm not going to be hanging around this morning. Once I've finished this, it'll be pack up inside the tent. I'll probably delay it a little bit, but then get out, get the tent down. Whew, beeline back to the car.
Right, that's the easy part done. All packed up inside the tent, and I'm just ready to get out. That wind is ramping up now. It's really gusting quite strong. It's still fairly consistent, and then every now and again you'll get a really strong gust. Once again, the QU's handling it really well, strong as an ox. There's the rucksack ready to go. I've got my bin bag attached to it. So as always, and as it should be, I'll be leaving no trace. And I have to admit, I am really not looking forward to getting out the tent and packing it down this morning. It's going to be a fight in this wind. Wow, that was a fight getting that tent down, let me tell you. There's some really strong gusts. I'm reckoning it easily over the 50-mile-an-hour mark. But the tent's down. Pack's ready to go there. That was where I had my tent. I've double checked and made sure that there's nothing left behind there. Really not much to see this morning. Pitch dark. Right, no time for messing around. Let's get off this mountain. 58 minutes and I'm back at the car, and I'm really happy with that. What wasn't too bad going up, the paths were wet, but going up is significantly less slippy than coming down, so I was really having to watch my footing to make sure that I didn't slip and fall. So heading down this morning really wasn't a hike that I could get a stride on, and to be fair, it really was a little bit frustrating because I'm feeling really good at the minute. I think maybe just the start of the TRT starting to kick in, feeling a lot better in myself, and starting to get a little bit more endurance. The legs feel like they've done nothing, and it was awesome to get back out on a proper hike yesterday. If I'd just done the circular route that I had planned, I think it was about 7.6, 7.7 miles. But with returning to Berks to camp and then heading back the way I ascended, I think I've probably done somewhere between 8 and 9 miles. So I'm really happy with that, and I feel like the channel's back to where I want it. I've had a couple of messages off people asking if my t-shirts come in a technical material. Yes, they do. I've had this one on the whole trip, and it's pretty good, to be fair. It's nice and light, synthetic material, and with a bit of wind it'll dry really quickly. Quite appropriate for today. Done and boshed it, mate. Don't forget, I will put a link in the description to my merchandise page if you want to go and check it out. As always, thank you all so much for joining me in this one, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.